Hi everyone, welcome to my living room. I'm going to do a quick training on setting the proper expectations, not only for people that come in on your team, but also for you coming into LifeVantage. Now, when I first started, I was a little nervous because I'd never done anything like this before. Most of you know that. And you know what's funny is a lot of elites that are in LifeVantage were the same way. They had never done network marketing. Now, I think what holds us apart from people that maybe don't finish the finish line of getting that residual check that can change your life is that we don't set proper expectations on ourselves of what it takes to really build this. Now, I want you to think of any new business that you start, or say you even want to be a doctor. You've got to go to school. You don't just start a business and, get out of the red the first year. Usually you have to work really hard and pay yourself last and do all these things that you never really realize in order to get to the other side where you're getting success. It's the same thing here. You are going to have to get uncomfortable, follow a system that you've never done. You're going to have to sacrifice things that you never in a million years thought you'd have to sacrifice. For me, it was my son's birthday. I talk about that a lot because that was a big one for me. Being with my kids and at certain, fun after school programs or even performances. For that 2 to 3 years, I sacrificed a lot. Now, what I want to tell you though is that on the other side, there is an unbelievable reward. My sponsor, Brian, told me that in the beginning, until, for a while, you're going to be doing this much work and only getting paid this much. I want you to wrap your head around that. For me, I gave myself 6 months to tell myself if this is going to work. For me, I had to see that there was some kind of return that was making it worthwhile, because let's get real, it is expensive to go to the events, which are a must if you want to get residual income. It is hard to sacrifice time away from your family to build this on nights, going to meetings, helping people, meeting up with people. It's tricky. So what I need you to tell yourself is it's going to be hard. For the first couple of years, it's going to be hard. But after 6 months, I knew that this was something I could keep putting time into and start to see a return. Now, the other part, the second part that Brian told me is what really shook me. And that is that yes, you're going to be doing this much work and getting paid this much. But after a while, and for me, it was a good 2 years, you're going to be getting paid. I can't even get into the screen. You're going to be getting paid this much and doing this much work. And that is the reality of what you need to tell yourself on the days where it's hard. On the days when you don't want to follow up or reach out to a new person, you've got to keep your eye on the prize of residual income and doing this much work and getting paid this much. An example of that is that I was on bed rest, a lot of you know, with our third baby. I took a year off with Shine to be with him and to really, focus on baby. And then I jumped back in. I don't do a ton of work like I did in the beginning. I'm not flying everywhere. I'm not doing three-way calls all day. I'm not checking my phone all day like you do in the beginning when you are building this. But guess what? I just qualified for the Ireland incentive trip. Didn't even know that I was in the running. That's what happens when you can keep your eye on the prize, do the consistent work of following the system and getting people into the business, and continually be coachable. That's what it takes. You've got to be coachable, which means if someone, your upline says you got to go to the event, like the next one's in Kansas City and it's not cheap for us people in Hawaii, you go. You find a way. Whether it's selling, some stuff in your house to make money, whether it's opening a new credit card. I mean, if you really want this, you've got to do what it takes. And then come home and do the work. Don't just think this is going to happen for you. This is not a get rich quick thing. Like I say, it's a get rich slow thing, which is a lot better than what we're doing, which is get rich never before we find LifeVantage. So I hope that helps. Set proper expectations, not only to the people coming on board by letting them know that this isn't going to be easy for the first, year. Think about that when you have a baby. I don't know if any of you have one, but for the first year, it is so hard. You're not sleeping. You're barely eating. You are always hungry. You have a baby that you can't understand because they are just a little tiny thing. It's the same thing with your LifeVantage business. You are learning how to do it. You are reaching out and sounding like a crazy person. You're admitting that you're a network marketer. You are deciding that this is going to work for you. You're putting money on the credit card that you don't have to go to an event that you don't really know that it's going to work. But trust me, if you can set the proper expectations, keep your eye on the prize, decide that you're going to give this 2 years. After that 6 month, I decided I'm going to give this 2 years. I'm going to take 2 years to get to Elite Pro 7 where I can share in that global business bonus. And I'm going to see if I can get there. I kept going to events. I kept getting on the calls. I kept reaching out to people. I kept adding to my database, reaching out every day to someone new, being honest, letting them know that I'm following up for the 15th time and I feel awkward. Please just let me know if this is for you or not. And I did that over and over and over again until I saw results. And I'm telling you, it took me 18 months to get to Pro 7. And in 2 years, I was a Pro 8. So is this possible? Yes. Is it going to be hard? Yes. But is the reward on the other side worth it? Absolutely. Do not give up. Set the proper expectations for yourself. I had things written all over the house because for me, I'm a procrastinator and I don't like getting uncomfortable. I like doing things that I'm good at. But I had to learn how to get good at this so that I could have the reward for my family and my team, for them to have the reward for their family. I hope that helped. Talk to you soon.